Hello and welcome to my channel. These are what I call my cuddly fiddly people. I have a whole family of them now. I started off with the little booklets just to fiddle and touch with, and they've progressed to people. It's my love of wool. What we'll do is we'll take one at a time because there are an awful lot of these. Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them in all different shapes, sizes, materials. Let's get going. Who have we got first on our camera? This one. Let's move the others out the way and see what we can see on this first one. So, there he is in all his splendour as he sits up. Here's his face. Huge big beads on there. Some ribbon on his head. It's got like a brooch with a button in the middle of it. His head, all the way round, you'll find surprises on him. There's odd buttons. There we go, round the other way. Oh, there's a button in what looks like a shell. Could be easier. Then we work our way down to his body. He's got butterflies. He's got twiddly bits. He's got flowers. And this arm, more material, little bows. Plaited bits. Even under his arm he's got he's got beads under there. Can't see them because I'm not holding them right. There we go. There's his beads under his arm and something more to play with. Bits, and he's got a fluffy bit. Bows. On his legs he's still got fluffy wool and pretties. A wool hanging out. Plaited bits. He's a very touchy-feely. Let's turn him over. Still got plaits of wool. He's got a huge great flower on his back there. On his arm there's a bow and a plaited bit. This was the beads, wasn't it, under his arms? Even on his neck he's got some beads. As you come back down to his head, he is rather big to get in one shot, I must admit. Let's see if we can get him long ways for you. That's a bit better. You've got most of him there. Then we can move him up and you can see his legs. There you go. He's quite a good one. So let's change from him and find you another one. Ooh, look at this one. Now this one's the same size again. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's really big. He's got beads on him and butterflies and pretties and twiddly bits and ribbons and huge beads sewn onto him. He's got funny faces because they've all got their eyes. This one's got 4 buttons as eyes. On the top of his head he's got crocheted bits, pretties, even a bit of material with crochet around it. Like gives him a nightcap, doesn't it? And he's got bows on this side, a double bow there. As you come down his arms, more material, more buttons. You can see he's just so tactile. Oh, and this white wool is really, really soft. You could cuddle him all day long. Okay, I could cuddle him all day long. They're just my little friendly family. They're all tatty and touchy-feely with buttons. Whoop, there goes his button off of his neck. Huge big one again. You just never know what you're going to put on them. And they're stuffed nice and firm. So there's plenty to cuddle. So that was number 2. Shall we see if we can find number 3? Ah, we're getting a bit smaller now. There you go. You can see a whole one there just about. Yes, you've got a whole dolly there. That's the front. There's the back. So let's look at this one in a bit more detail. No bits on the back of this one. It's just nice pretty walls, touchy-feely walls. When you stand him up, we'll bring him round. So he's got a huge big flower on the top of him, all in crochet. The 2 eyes again with the buttons, and this one's got patches behind the eyes. And a double ribbon. It's got a nice silky ribbon and a sheer sort of material ribbon. He's got the bits hanging, which is all tactile. What's he got on his arm? Oh, he's got a doily sewn up. It's a bit different. He's got charms on his belly. Oh, he's got a Nelly on that bit. And more ribbons. And on his leg, he's got a plastic shoe. Very different. And a bow down the bottom. So, as you can see, lots of different walls. There's no pattern to these. You just make a round bit for the head. Two shorter oblongs, or two shorter arm pieces. Two leg pieces, a bit bigger. And one body piece. You sew them together. And hey presto, you have a little friend. Let's see who else we've got today. So, this one's a bit different. Huge eyes on this one, as you can see. Not a lot on its head. One piece of string. But that's fine. Now, the arms are not tunnels this time. These are just twiddly bits that have been crocheted. And I've used them and sewn them on. Because they are sewn on and then it's tied up. So we have two arms the same. Lots of different walls again, and some pretties. And on the bottom of this one, doesn't have legs. It's got like a skirt. And actually sits on its skirt when it wants to. Let's turn it round and see what this one's got. Not too much on this one. Pretty walls. Pretty soft walls. And the bottom, as you can see, would have been a big doily knitted, well, crochet doily that I've put on as the bottom. Stuffed and then put on. So not too much detail or too much extras, but a very nice one again, and I hope you like her. Let's see who else we've got. Now here's a little stumpy one. Can you see the little bits on here? Little bits falling. Oh, there's a leaf. Looks like a parrot in there. Two big button eyes again. I do like the button eyes. There's a hippo down at the bottom. Now this one's got the twiddly arms again. Lovely bows on top. Oh, we've got a little doily one and a button. And some big beads hanging off the back there. Oh, and if you turn it right round, a bit of cotton that's been crocheted round again and put on as a big patch. No legs, just a very strange looking underneath to this one. Soft, and this one does stand again. So a little funny one there. Depends on whether this looks more like a gnome, doesn't it? Or a Humpty Dumpty. It's whether you want legs or not. Completely your choice. Now this one was a bit different again. Because it's made out of material this time. The tongue is crocheted. Two buttons again. I do like my buttons. And the hair on this one has actually got some beads on it. Stuffed ears. No arms. Does have two little legs. And a plain back. You can see it's got nice hair on it. Well, it would be if it was combed. So that's a different one. Still squishy. Still nice to play with and have as a friend to talk to. With a nice little lace smile. Very different. Now the last dolly is rather big. And he's only going to come in the picture a bit at a time, as I said. He's rather big. So there's his legs. Come down to his body. This is his arms. All different materials again. And then down to his head, where he has a face. Lots of going on here. Lots of bits sewn on his body. And big buttons and ribbons. Lots of colour. And this one actually sort of sits at the back of the room. Because he's rather big. But he sits there proud. And all the others can come and look to him, and he's like the leader of the pack because he's the biggest one. He was probably the first one I made, and I thought a lot of wool was being taken up, so I better start making smaller ones. But as you can tell, He's rather big, but he's not scary really. He's friendly, he's cuddly, and I like him. I hope you've enjoyed the walkthrough of all his little friends, and we see you again another time. Bye bye.